Welcome to the Omni CMS video tutorial on headings. Headings define the titles or subtitles used on a web page. They communicate the organization of the content on the page. Web browsers, plugins, and assistive technologies use headings to improve the in-page navigation. They are also used by search engines to index the structure of the page. Users often skim pages by their headings. In the WYSIWYG editor, headings are created and edited using the Blocks dropdown. It can be difficult to identify what block is being used. To assist with this, enable the Show Blocks button in the editor toolbar. This will add a dotted border around all blocks and include a small tag in the corner with the block level. Headings are marked H1 through H6 and have a dark background to help them stand out. To create a heading, click inside the block or select the text to turn it into a heading. Heading text should quickly describe the following content, less than 60 characters. Click the Blocks dropdown and select the correct heading level. When in the main content area, use heading level 2 to create section titles on the page. Notice that the block level changed. This text will now be recognized as the title of the content that follows it. To create a subsection of that, use heading level 3. And to create a subsection of heading 3, use heading 4, and so on. In this example, we've created an H2 section for campuses, 2 H3 subsections for Owensboro and Glasgow, and even further H4 subsections for classes and teachers at Glasgow. Use the Styles dropdown to change the appearance of a block and create a unique visual hierarchy. Highlight the text you want to style, then select from the color and size styles available. As an example, the Omni CMS site uses the WKU red text style on headings of level 2. No style changes to headings of level 3, and the semi-bold text and font H5 styles on headings of level 4. Remember, if you change the style of a heading level, make sure that all other headings of that level use the same style. See our training tutorial on editing pages for more examples. When working with headings, the most important thing to keep in mind is nesting and the order of headings on the page. Headings create the outline of a page, splitting content into sections and subsections. As said before, headings are ranked 1 through 6, heading 1 being the most important and 6 the least. Search engines and screen readers recognize heading 1 as the title of the page. On WKU websites, this is the template page title from page properties. Following level 1, only levels 2 through 6 should be used in a consecutive and nested fashion. Use heading 2 to group the following content into sections. To create subsections, use heading 3. And subsections of heading 3 would use heading 4, and so on. See the example page structure on the Headings Best Practices page. Do not skip heading levels. For example, do not nest a heading 4 after a heading 2. This skips heading 3. Skipping heading levels causes accessibility issues and will trigger the final check's accessibility issue. Heading levels should only increase by 1. It is okay, however, to skip heading levels when ending or closing a subsection. For example, ending a heading 4 subsection to begin a new heading 2 section. This skips level 3, but is valid since it ends a previous higher ranked section. In the example, we go from H4 Cobb salad to H2 dinner. This is okay since it ends the lunch H2 and begins the next one, dinner, which is an equal H2 heading. To address this final check, we must identify the out-of-order heading and change it. Step-by-step instructions are available in the knowledge base. Use the source code section and locate the text of the heading. Edit the content area where the heading is located. Remember to use show blocks to quickly identify all headings on the page. You can also use find and replace to search the page. In this example, the heading is level 4. The previous heading was level 2, so level 3 was skipped. To repair the problem, we should change that heading to level 3. If there are any other equal level headings or section titles, make sure they also use level 3 and use consistent styling. Sometimes it isn't simple. Locating the out-of-order heading can be tricky. There are several content areas where a heading can be located. To visualize the order in which a page is read or processed by assistive technology, search engines, and browsers, visit the Best Practices page. All editable areas are highlighted and numbered with the order they would be read on the page. To locate headings and repair order issues, use this graphic and corresponding guide. Each area has recommendations for valid heading levels and alternatives to heading blocks. Not all pages have every content area. If your page does not have a content area enabled, skip it and move on to the next one. Begin with the site-wide notification, left column quick links, and left column content area first. If enabled, edit them and check for headings. Do not use heading blocks in these 3 areas, as they come before the H1 page title. Keep in mind this content precedes the main page content, like an intro. Use the site-wide alert message to provide important information and links. Use the left column areas to provide lists of external links, social media, and other contact information or logos. The next heading in the template is the page title, which uses the heading level 1. This level cannot be changed, as it is the most important one on the page and is used for accessibility purposes. If you do not include a page title, your page may receive the final check problem. Page should contain a level 1 heading. To change this text, visit Page Properties and edit the title field. Following the page title are the main content, right column quick links, and right column content areas. Since these areas follow the H1, heading should use levels 1 through 6, using correct nesting. Edit these areas and ensure that headings are following the correct order and nest properly with no levels skipped. Use heading 2 for sections, heading 3 for subsections, as outlined in the nesting section of Best Practices. The last editable area is the site footer, edited using the _footer.pcf file. We recommend only using heading 2 in this area. This will ensure correct nesting after the H1 on any page it is enabled. Consider removing headings and using footers for succeeding content, such as disclaimers, social media links, or contact information that follows the main page content. It may also be the case that a blank line is using a heading. Blank headings will cause the accessibility final check problem. Headings should not be empty. The lack of text in the source code of the problem can make locating this issue difficult. Remember to use show blocks to highlight all headings and quickly identify any blank lines. Change any blank lines to use the paragraph block level or remove them. Remember to only use heading blocks for any headings or section titles. It may be tempting to style a paragraph block to look like a heading, but this can trigger the final check problem. Styled P elements must not be used as headings. Styled paragraph blocks must not be used to represent headings because the structure of the document cannot otherwise be determined by screen reader users. To repair this, select the paragraph block that should be a heading, then change the block in the dropdown to the appropriate heading level. If you have any questions or need further assistance, contact the ITS service desk at 270-745-7000 or visit wku.edu/its/contact. For examples, best practices, and other helpful information, visit wku.edu/omni-cms.